We just witnessed one of the largest heists in German history, and now it is causing absolute chaos.
Have y'all heard of the Walmart theory? Now, before we get there, we've known that Walmart had cameras in aisles.
5 years, and one of them was by 2023, we will reduce the number of people in the world by 50%.
Wake up, gods! Wake up!
Welcome to Chill Spot, the best place to chill, where every episode uncovers a deeper mystery. Tonight, we've curated some of the most captivating and mind-bending videos yet. Prepare yourself, because what you're about to see will challenge your understanding of reality.
Wake up, gods! Wake up! We are the X-Men! We are the X-Men! Plasma! Lightning is a massive high-energy discharge of electricity, primarily composed of plasma. And you're telling me we have plasma in the body, and lightning is a high-energy glowing ionized channel of plasma? The sun is entirely composed of plasma, a gigantic ball of electrically charged gases, hydrogen and helium. What did I tell y'all about helium? Walk with me! This is how they take our powers away. We donate blood, we just give it to them. Blood holds plasma, and it holds 55% of plasma. What? Plasma helps regulate the blood temperature and supports clotting and immunity. Immunity! And we just giving it away for t-shirts and a sandwich and movie tickets. What? We're giving away our powers and immunity. And this is what they do with it. They make televisions, you know, plasma TVs. They make fluorescent lamps. I know y'all seen these stupid little lamps in the stores. And then they make plasma blades. That's for surgery. Pay attention, because if you don't know what a plasma blade is, watch this.
The plasma blade and the pulse plasma technology is really an advance on surgical technology that hasn't changed in 50 years.
You realize that we can do things differently. We don't have to rely on something that we've been using for the last 20, 30, 40 years.
20, 30, 40?
Medicine is really a move to improving patient outcomes, providing faster, quicker healing for patients.
In terms of breast surgery and breast cancer surgery, we're getting less and less invasive. We're getting more precise. The plasma blade fits into that whole scheme.
The movement to minimally invasive, really trying to minimize not only invasiveness, but also the damage that you're doing. You really want to control and minimize the collateral damage that happens with surgery.
Wake up! We are the gods! X-Men! X-Men!
According to the Akashic Records, what age are humans supposed to be able to live until? And why do we not currently live until that age? Please give us a breakdown.
Original human lifespan, 900 to 1200 years. In the original divine template, known in the records as the Adam-Kadmon body, or the eternal solar body, humans were designed to live between 900 and 1200 years, sometimes far longer. This wasn't a myth, this was a biological, spiritual, and crystalline truth. In early Lemurian and Atlantean eras, and even before them on parallel planets and inner Earth realms, humans lived 900 plus years in peace-based societies, without disease, decay, or drastic cellular breakdown, through solar-line cycles of evolution, maturity, mastery, and conscious transition. Scriptures like Genesis, where figures like Methuselah lived 969 years, preserved a partial memory of this truth. But what changed was frequency. What allowed humans to live that long? 1 12-strand DNA activation. Humanity once walked in full DNA expression with 12 strands online, each linked to a layer of consciousness and galactic memory. 2 crystalline plasma blood. Blood was once more crystalline, less acidic, more photonic, carrying light codes rather than toxicity. 3 cosmic diet and environment. Original humans consumed sun-charged, prana-rich foods, drank mineralized spring water, and lived in harmony with geomagnetic rhythms, not artificial time. 4 emotional purity. Emotions were honored, felt fully, and then released, not suppressed, which is what corrodes the body today. 5 spiritually aligned purpose. Most souls lived with clear soul missions and purpose extended life. Without purpose, the spirit retracts its energy and the body deteriorates. Why don't we live that long now? 1. Genetic tampering during the fall of Atlantis and earlier galactic wars, especially with certain Orion Draco and Anunnaki factions, humanity's DNA was clipped, altered, and frequency limited. The pineal gland was calcified through environmental toxins and spiritual trauma. The telomeres, caps on DNA strands, were shortened.
If you want to learn how to get your aura charged up like this, follow me for a second. My name is Tigo and I'm a mystic, and I've been training spirituality and meditation since 2010. I learned to access the healing energy field of Qi through long sitting meditation. I traveled to China to further those practices and was truly blessed to be able to practice and study with Jiang Feng and a group of lay Buddhist monks. In my course, The Way of the Mystic, I teach how to open the heart, access your own healing potential, and align with the purpose that you set out for in this life and your soul. So if you want to access that, go to www.themindofbazel.com and book a consultation today or book the course. Much love to y'all. Peace.
Welcome, channel members, to today's video. Thank you for your incredible support. Your support truly makes this channel possible.
Listen, incubators, look how they tell you right here. And it's a white incubator baby telling you that all 80% of the Caucasian population are incubator babies, and they were created by the Moors. Watch the full video.
80% of the Caucasian population.
80% of the Caucasian population are clones. So, it's not about racism. So also,
no, it's nothing to do with race.
Is there any science? Is there any science that you could have a clone in your life, that you're in love with a clone? Like, I know a lot of people say that they don't think, they don't have internal dialogue. Is there anything you've come across?
That's exactly what I was about to say. So Dolores Cannon did the work on this. So Benjamin Franklin also wrote about this, saying that there was a dire need to fill America with Caucasian people. So for whatever reason, they decided to do that. Yeah, they say that there is no inner dialogue, and they called it whitewashing. But Dolores Cannon believed that 80% of the population that look like me can't trace their family tree back past really the 1800s with any accuracy, and we refer to them today as NPCs.
Wow.
She said they were soulless. I don't think anything living is soulless. I think we all have a connection. But it was called whitewashing, for want of a better expression, and it was to make out, and they did this at the well.
Listen, incubators, look how they tell you right here. And it's a white incubator baby telling you that all 80% of the Caucasian population are incubator babies, and they were created by the Moors. Watch the full video.
80% of the Caucasian population.
80% of the Caucasian population are clones. So, it's not about racism. So also,
no, it's nothing to do with race.
Epstein turned parts of our country into a playground for the super rich. Children, vulnerable kids from poor communities, were taken, stripped, released into isolated terrain, and hunted like animals. Guns, dogs, helicopters. For sport. Survivors describe Jay-Z and Beyonce being there on at least 3 occasions, laughing, directing, even killing when the moment felt right. I'm an inspector with the Lagos State Police Command, 15 years on the force. I've seen corruption, I've seen crime, but nothing like this. We have names, dates, locations, credible enough to open a formal case. My team wanted to move fast, issue international arrest warrants, request Interpol red notices, question Jay-Z and Beyonce through diplomatic channels. We had enough to bring them in for questioning, to seek real justice for the victims and their families who still wait for answers. But then the calls started, not from Abua, from Aya, very high. The message was the same every time: drop it, shut the file, no further action. They said if we pursue this, if we name the celebrities or push for extradition, billions in development funds, health programs, security assistance would be gone overnight.
Remember that now infamous picture of Prince Andrew in the back of a car after being released from jail? The one where the ex-royal looks a cross between shell-shocked and comatose? Well, a group of activists printed that bad boy out, popped it in a nice frame, and managed to hang it in the Louvre. First, what the heck is wrong with the Louvre security? Have they learned nothing from the jewel heist? Anyway, this activist understood the assignment. They were not only able to stick the framed picture on a wall outside a gallery, but included one of those museum placards that has the name and the date of a painting. This one says, "He's sweating now," and it has the year 2026. It made it about 15 minutes before Louvre staff removed it. Now, the group responsible for this little prank said in a statement, quote, "We thought we'd show the former Prince Andrew how the world will remember him by putting up this iconic arrest photo at the Louvre. Let's hope this is just the start. Justice for all Epstein survivors." Meanwhile, there are also some developments in the case itself. For starters, we learned that Andrew reportedly had British taxpayers springing for massages while he was serving as UK trade envoy. I shouldn't have to tell you that that is frowned upon. Retired civil servants were said to be stunned by Andrew's alleged spending habits, and at least one who challenged him on it was overruled. And lastly, remember the UK ambassador to the US, Lord Peter Mandelson? He's the one who was fired from his post after the Epstein files revealed the extent of his relationship to the dead pedophile. Well, he has now been arrested on charges very similar to the ones they went after Andrew with. The 72-year-old ex-diplomat was led away from his London home by cops on Monday, accused of leaking sensitive British government intelligence to Epstein.
At least now we are seeing justice being to the Epstein survivors. And it's just insane how they were kidnapping kids in Nigeria, as we have seen in that clip. Seems they had connections everywhere. Let's continue.
To all the countries that are out there that are not paying attention to the United States, it's time you start paying attention to the United States. And if many of these countries have not learned by what happened to Maduro in Venezuela, well, the United States allegedly just went into Scotland and took 2 people. You heard what I said, took 2 people in Scotland. Take a look at this.
2 people have been abducted from Scotland in the middle of the night by the US military, despite our highest court ordering that they be kept here under our jurisdiction.
So if you recall, there was a Russian oil tanker that was seized earlier in the month. And if you recall, the ship was captured between Iceland and Scotland. And on that ship, the ship's captain and the ship's first officer were supposed to be kept in the UK under Scottish jurisdiction. And that didn't go according to plan, because the following day, they were both gone. And the United States sent an email stating that they had the 2 of them. And once again, the US went on that ship without anyone even noticing they were there, and captured both of them, sending a very, very strong message to the rest of the world. So once again, does this signal to the rest of the world? You do not want any issues with the United States of America. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Jeffrey Epstein and the creation of Bitcoin. By now we've all heard of the influence that Jeffrey had on the creation of this cryptocurrency. And I can't help but remember the interview with John McAfee. And for whatever reason, this has just stuck with me. Listen to this.
Just gonna hit you with this one, John. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto?
Doesn't want to be known, but if you want to find out, I mean, listen, everybody knows who was involved back then in history.
Right.
Google.
Right.
You know, they got Dr. Adam Back. I mean, Craig Wright was there. A whole bunch of people were there. Who is Satoshi? Well, that's the author of the fucking white paper. I don't know if they flipped a coin, drew straws to say who writes it. But if you want to know which one it was, run some authoring software against it, because everybody involved, especially Dr. Beck, had written dozens of technical papers. Let me give you some clues. In Satoshi's white paper, every word that has dual spellings for American and British English is British.
It's all British, yeah.
It's all British. Every sentence is followed by 2 spaces. Now that's a minority choice in most papers, but 2 spaces. Now, there are only 2 of the accused who were British, and only one of those has 2 spaces in every one of his papers. Figure it out, people. It'll take you 15 minutes. But he doesn't want to be known. I'm not going to name it.
2 spaces. 2. Peculiar way for someone to type. I've never used 2 spaces. But you know who does use 2 spaces in all of his emails? Old Jeffrey. Now I know. Correlation doesn't mean causation, but it's definitely peculiar. Now I can't say anything about the British English because it doesn't appear that he uses them in his emails. But we know he had plenty of British influences that probably helped him if he was the writer of the white paper.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not.
Gerald Ford is not a pedophile per se. He's what I refer to as trisexual. He'll try anything. Any age, anybody, anytime, anywhere, just as long as he had control. Because he had a perversion of power, in addition to his interest in mind control. Therefore, it was Gerald Ford who came out to our house and explained to my father how to raise me in the project according to government specifications. My father had been caught sending this child pornography through the U.S. mails, and therefore he was approached and told that if he sold me into that project, that he would gain immunity from prosecution. My father remains free from prosecution to date for so-called reasons of national security. Once my father agreed to sell me into the project, I was taken routinely to Mackinac Island, Michigan, which is a political retreat where the Michigan governor's mansion is located. It was a bohemian grove of sorts where politicians met and discussed New World Order controls, where they discussed mind control of the masses, mind control in the school systems, how to use occultism as a trauma base. One of my sexual abusers at that time was the Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Trudeau. Pierre Trudeau is a professed Jesuit. Now, the Jesuits are an intelligence arm of the Catholic Vatican. Pierre Trudeau represented this criminal faction of the Catholic Church, of the Jesuits, who believed in mind control of the masses because they wanted to be the one world church in the New World Order.
They be telling us these things for a long time, and many people still ain't seeing it. Shout out to her for opening our eyes and giving us a peek into what they do in the shadows. But what do you think of Epstein creating Bitcoin? Tell us below.
A woman goes on to We Need to Talk podcast and exposes the true darkness that is held inside fraternities and sororities, and that it's a cult and the things that they are doing is absolutely dark and demonic. Okay. And I want to show y'all this video and what she said. Then we can look at a recent event that took place in Iowa involving a fraternity. All right, let's hop in this video, watch it, and react to it. Before we do me a quick favor. Hit that like button for the algorithm so that this video can reach more people like yourself. I truly appreciate you guys. Let's hop in.
To that. Because the fear of the Lord that came over me when I understood the level of what I operated in these organizations, I cannot begin to tell you how horrified I was when the Lord revealed the judgment that would take place. I sat there and I took advantage of 17, 18, and 19-year-old girls. See, my story with this whole Delta Sigma Theta situation, a lot of it has to do with all the things that were done to me, but I'm not a victim. I brought over 4 lines and I abused 4 lines full of girls. I manipulated them. Everything that I'm supposed to be doing and I'm doing in the body of Christ is what I was supposed to be doing.
Oh my gosh.
I took advantage of them I'm not sitting here talking about selfish passes and no, because I was that wicked leader. I had people who wanted to be Deltas just because I was one. Just because I was one. I sat there and looked at these girls' moms in their face and told them that I was taking care of their kids, and I was sitting there abusing their children, taking advantage of their children. And I'm blowing the lid off of it. Segueing into Delta Sigma Theta, as I stated, on my mom's side of the family, everybody was Greek. And so I was groomed into this. Majority of aunts and godparents, whatever, they was all Deltas. And they were all, some of my mom's line sisters, whatever, future Delta onesies. I'm in the little kid organizations coming up. And it was crazy because I specifically picked the school that I knew heist. Because I was so normalized to that process, because it talks about, okay, this being something specifically that is pretty normal. It's like a rites of passage,
So she's basically exposing everything that is taking place. It's a 2-hour video. And in this is a complete breakdown of how they get these girls and young guys into these fraternities and sororities, the hazing, the humiliation rituals, the rituals that take place in church. It is very dark. Okay. And she's in this video, as you're going to see, there is a lot that they are hiding from people that takes place that truly, every Christian that is pledged to these fraternities and sororities should definitely leave them. And they should call them out, because it is extremely demonic cult behavior. It's crazy.
And this is, you want to know that you're tough. You want to make sure that, don't nobody, try you, and you really worked hard for this thing. And I was raised in that. My mom, She pledged during a time where there was a walking line. That means above ground. That means what you see in school days where they were being pledged publicly. And then in the 90s, hazing got, what do you call it? Like outlawed. And so it went underground. Okay. And that's where that happened. But a lot of the stuff that you would see in school days where people would be able to be hazed publicly. No, this stuff is ingrained in these organizations. It's ingrained. And so I get to school. I went to Savannah State. Okay. And I'm immediately already knowing the ropes. I'm knowing that, okay, you need to join, freshman class president and do this amount of community service, so you're able to look like, you're a good candidate to pledge. We're not even doing it because we care for real. We're not even doing it because we care. We're doing it because we want to look attractive to the organization. That's how much of an idol this thing was. Wow. It bothers me how when people say, it wasn't an idol. If it wasn't an idol for you, you wouldn't have even gone through the even application process, because the level of what you have to do in the application process is insane. Can you imagine coming up in the church and your application process looks like you got to sit there, let people haze you, do this packet, have all these qualifications? Last I checked, Jesus takes all. So you coming in the comments wanting to disrespect and coming to church and call the church a cult, but it was cool for you to sit there and discriminate against people who you didn't like and you don't pick them to be online? Did Jesus do that to you? Did we make you jump through hoops and take you through a pledge process in order for you to join the church? And then you got a nerve to call it a Christian organization on top of that. You got the nerve to say that this thing is based upon Christian principles?
Her name is Melissa Blair, and she needs her own YouTube channel, because I feel like she has so much information, valuable information that will, this is a 2-hour video, like I said, but I would listen to her all day. She sounds like she knows a lot. She's down for Christ. Everything that she did in the past, she regrets it, and she calls it out. She exposed herself and fraternities and sororities for the darkness that takes place. Man, it's crazy, man.
Did you guys see what the show Fallout on Amazon Prime just showed the people who are watching it? We're talking about Season 2, Episode 4, which released January 7th, 2026. Keep in mind, I'm sure these shows take many months to produce. This girl pulls out an ID card. This guy pulls out a girl's ID card. United States annexed territory of Canada. Okay, I'm telling you, this is going to happen. It says 2045, I think a lot sooner. Now the question is, are they just using something that's happening today and including it in the show as a cool thing? Or are they predictive programming people? I don't think it's going to be 2045, dude. I think it's going to be soon. Look how quick Greenland's already going to be scooped up in 2 seconds here. Canada's next. And I'm not saying this is good or bad, but I think there's a bigger reason they want Canada to be part of the United States, and not just for security purposes, put it that way. And I know a lot of people are stoked who are in Canada. It's not even quite 50-50. Like, some people are stoked. They think if America takes over Canada, maybe we won't be controlled so bad by this current government, which many people are not pleased with. Other people say we'll never be part of the United States. Mark Carney's doing an amazing job. But anyways, I wonder exactly what's going to happen here. But I was shocked to see it on Amazon freaking Prime. Someone sent me that clip. And this episode is called The Demon in the Snow. Whoa, is that calling Canada a demon? Dang, man. So my question is this, though. Next on the chopping block would be, it was going to be Venezuela and Colombia, because those are the top 2 tip countries of South America. Of course, the rest would be Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Cuba, Dominican, Puerto Rico. That's already part of the U.S. That was talked about many years ago to merge all those countries into one. So let me know your thoughts. Is this a great idea or is something else going on here? Comment your thoughts below and follow for more. Now, if you made it this far, I should say that there's a whole lot more I'm going to be posting, but I do want to mention that right now Chalk is giving away free bags of the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia. This is the Chalk Lit Powder. Super detoxing, freaking delicious. And if you combine that with the hot water purified shilajit or the ashwagandha, you're getting some of the most potent superfoods in the natural world. I'm talking fertility, brain function, hormones, energy levels, cognition, and your pineal gland. Comment free below and check your DMs for details.
Set up the goals for the next 5 years, and one of them was by 2023 we will reduce the number of people in the world by 50%. I think today this dream is becoming reality.
It is basically biological chip that it is in the tablet, and once you take the tablet and dissolves into your stomach, sends a signal that you took the tablet. So imagine the applications of that, compliance, the insurance companies to know that the medicines that patients should take, they do take them. It is fascinating what happens in this field.
That clip was from a while ago, but looking at the situation today, I think his plan is happening right now. Hope you are safe out there, y'all, and doing good. Subscribe if you're not to join the family, and always stay in the loop for future clips.
Have y'all heard of the Walmart theory? Now, before we get there, we've known that Walmart had cameras in aisles. But now they're in every single aisle and it stopped when I was recording it. They say it's for theft, but why they need them in every single aisle? Well, if you knew the Walmart theory, you would know exactly why they have them in every single aisle and why so many Walmarts seem to be closing. By the way, it's not for theft prevention. Did y'all ever see that video where it showed the phone was spying on the room and detecting every item in the room as it was being moved around by the AI software in the phone? Do you remember that? Well, you know, a little while back I shared a video with y'all showing you that your phone can literally read your mind through your eyes, detecting what thoughts you were having at that moment. It's a very, very real technology. Even just last year, AI-powered thought decoders won't just read your mind, they'll change it. Wired. Walmart's not just evil because they closed down all like homeowned stores. The Walmart theory actually runs really deep, and Walmart is very known to be the place where you will most likely see a UFO out of all places. I wonder why that is. Anyways, I'm not going to tell you on here what the Walmart theory is, but there's a very, very dark thing happening in the Walmart and with all the information they're collecting. If you notice, this guy right here gives me a bad look. Look at him. But look into it. Look into what all the closed Walmarts happen to be doing. It's pretty crazy. I won't tell you on here, but look into it. Did you see it?
You know who would have loved that feature? Jeffrey! Okay guys, this is wild. I am one of the first humans on the entire planet to be given access to show you guys this device. And I can confirm the rumors. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is the first smartphone I have ever seen to have a built-in privacy display. What the hell are they doing in this bit? Let's say you're sat in public next to Unc over here. You simply swipe down, touch this button, and it completely shuts off the wide-angle pixels on your display. So pocket watches over here, done. But it gets even crazier. Sorry about that, I just had to do it for the camera. We're friends still, right? Now, in some situations, you might not need a full privacy display. Guys, you really gotta be in here too? So you can actually turn it on when opening certain apps only, like text, maintaining the overall appearance of nothing to hide while still being able to take the darkest secrets to the grave. And perhaps the craziest feature, the privacy display even works if you only want specific pixels in the screen hidden, like notification pop-ups. Damn, you know who would have loved that feature? Jeffrey!
Those ancient relics really looked awesome, and I can't even imagine how some of the ones we have seen in them clips really work. Wish we could time travel and ask the ones who made them for some tips. Let's continue. There's more waiting for us.
Oh my God! Jack, no! Pull him back! Hold on! Jesus Christ! It's been fired! Back up! You see that? Call somebody, man! Jack's healed! Come on!
You wanted to tell me something? Are you done? Oops. Sorry.
This video shows a social experiment filmed on the streets of the US. A man puts on dark sunglasses, grabs a white cane, and pretends to be blind. He walks up to random strangers and gently takes their hand, as if he's lost his sense of direction and is trying to figure out where he is. People's reactions are different, but overall, they're pretty telling. Many immediately pull their hand away, step aside, or simply ignore him. You can see the discomfort. People don't understand what's happening. Some pick up their pace, others give an awkward smile and try to free themselves as quickly as possible. In one moment, a woman literally pushes him away from her husband. And she does it pretty firmly, even aggressively. From her perspective, it may look like she's protecting someone she cares about, but let's be honest, there were probably other ways to handle that. And that's where the main question comes in. Why does this happen? Where does this indifference come from? Or is it not indifference at all, but simple fear and distrust of a stranger who suddenly steps into someone's personal space? Or could it have something to do with the color of his skin? Social experiments often reveal not so much bad people, but the overall level of anxiety in society.
This girl went to a normal bird show, but it changed her life forever in a crazy way. Let me explain. So this here is Erin, and she had a boyfriend named Jesse who knew that she loved animals. So he booked a trip to Australia's Sunshine Coast to visit the Australian Zoo. Yes, the Australian Zoo, the one owned by Steve Irwin's family. So they get to the zoo, and Jesse decides to take her to the bird show. And everything seems normal. The zookeeper comes out with these exotic birds and lets them fly around to show the audience. And then the zookeeper asks for a volunteer from the audience to hold up money for the bird to fly around and collect. And Erin jumped out of her seat, took out a $5 bill, waving it, and the cockatoo came and grabbed it. But in a weird turn of events, the zookeeper tells Erin that the cockatoo is gonna fly back with a receipt. And the bird flies back and actually drops the receipt off to Erin. And she opens to read it, but sees a message on it. The message said, "Will you marry me?" And that's when Jesse gets down on one knee. You see, Jesse had planned this from the start. He contacted the zoo beforehand to let them know his plan. And since he knew Erin would volunteer, this would be a dream proposal for her. And of course, she said yes, and they spent the rest of the day with the animals with the new rock on her finger.
We just witnessed one of the largest heists in German history, and now it is causing absolute chaos amongst the bank's customers demanding answers. You see, on Monday morning, police were called to a bank for a possible fire, but instead they found a massive hole drilled into the basement wall leading into the bank's vault, and they found the place absolutely ransacked. A staggering 3,000 safe deposit boxes were forced open containing jewelry, cash, and gold, making up 95% 50% of the bank's inventory. Investigators say they believe the thieves used an adjacent parking garage to gain access, and that this operation required extensive planning, inside knowledge, and a significant criminal resolve to carry out.
It is really unique compared to anything I've ever seen, heard, or read. I have never heard of any similar case, except perhaps on TV.
The thieves were described by police as highly professional, and so much so that days later, not a single suspect has been apprehended. Investigators say that this theft was worth between 10 and 90 million euros, which could make it one of Germany's largest ever.
People be really creative in stealing money from the bank these days, or is it just the movies that be motivating them? I can't imagine what it took to drill that hole in there, but sure shows how people are getting desperate out here.
Okay, does anyone else see little air particles in the sky? Or just in front of you? And I'm not talking about floaters. This is the best way I know how to describe it. Like, are we seeing the Matrix? I might know. Here's what I think. Okay, so I'm sure you've heard of this. There is something called visual snow. They literally say they're not exactly sure what it is, and then continue to speculate themselves that it might have to do with a heightened sensory awareness, a migraine, anxiety. There's also something called whatever the heck, or perceptual sensitivity. The air kind of looks pixelated or flowing, and now I think this might be close to it, but nothing looks smaller or more, maybe it does look more detailed, let me think. I also do have this thing, if you can see it, it's almost like, it looks like a photo. Sometimes I see white outlines. I did not know that was part of visual snow. I also do have floaters, but this only happens like sometimes. And I need to know if you've had this happen, where you're literally seeing, they're like white little flies, but they're all flowing like in a river together just in front of you. And it literally feels like you're seeing the Matrix, or what I think is little plasma particles like creating a reality. Plasma is intelligent. Go look at my plasma intelligence playlist. I mention it in every video. Okay. So I asked my chat GPT to speculate on the metaphysical meaning of visual snow, because I don't trust all of science because we don't know everything, and here's what it said. It might be awareness beyond the veil. We're seeing that reality is not solid, it's in a constant flux. You might be in a holographic universe. If this is a holographic projection of reality, which I think it is, you might be literally seeing the fabric of the universe, these little pixels. And since this doesn't happen all the time, it might be a little glitch in the matrix, and the brain's typical filters are visual filters, allowing us to perceive space and time in a different way that hints at the nature of our reality. This also hints at reality being subject to the observer, basically how consciousness constructs what it's seeing. This is the one I really vibe with. The flowing or shimmering effect might be the dynamic interplay of particles or energy fields constantly creating and sustaining the visible world. That is what it feels like. That is the closest thing, and it is metaphysical. I really don't think you can explain everything with science. I just don't. And I love science, but I also love metaphysics. And I think they have to meet each other halfway. What does this mean? I don't know. I just thought it was cool. But it does make me think that this air around us, what I call plasma, a higher dimensional plasma, it's intelligent. And it's feeding back with our consciousness, and our thoughts really do not just create our reality, but impress onto our reality. And then guess what? Reality speaks back to us with these little particles and then changes us. It's an entire feedback loop. It's an infinity sign. Sometimes we create our reality, sometimes we surrender to its greater intelligence. The one I always go with, if you got what you wanted 5 years ago, you would probably not be happy, and you're glad you didn't get what you wanted in most cases, which is an example of that. Anyway, congratulations if you have this. You're seeing plasma. I love this for you. The veil, the static field, the elasticity of space and time and beyond. The Matrix. With that said, visual snow is a real thing. If you've never heard of it before, you see flashes of light, sometimes color swirls. You have darkness sensitivity to light. But as I said, science doesn't really understand exactly what causes it or what it even is. So I think they just grouped everything that's metaphysical and then some things that actually are real neurological problems, and they just made it visual snow. Listen, if you have floaters, definitely get them checked. If they just come out of nowhere, that happened to my birth mom, and she ended up having to get surgery. I've had floaters forever. I have asked the eye doctor. I have nothing wrong with me as of now. And I think I'm just seeing things sometimes. And I'm actually a pretty grounded person, as kooky as I might come off. They're not hallucinations. It does not happen a lot. The floaters happen a lot. But this like river of particles, like it doesn't happen that much. And I will journal next time it happens to see what kind of state of mind I'm in. My advice if this happens to you is to focus on it and see if it focuses back. I'm tired. Good night.
So we're just gonna pour some salt, then we're gonna pour some sugar. 3, 2. Is it working? Oh my!
This man is truly a genius. He picked up the microphone and pointed it at the cat. He actually recorded the cat's meow on his phone. He then transferred the sound to his computer. Based on the sound wave pattern, he designed the desired shape. He placed on a 3D printer for rapid modeling. He printed out an identical shape. After removing it, he cleaned off the excess material from the edges. He then attached it to a wooden mold. He hung it on top of a plastic cup. Fill it with silicone solution. Submerge it completely. Wait until it is fully solidified. Remove it from the mold by turning it over. Take out several cable tie loops. Tightly bind the mold. Melt all the collected waste candles. Then pour it into the mold. Wait until it is completely cooled and solidified. Then the man pours plaster solution into the mold. After waiting for it to completely solidify, cut the model open using a grinder. Place it inside an oven and bake at high temperature. Take it out and place it on a refractory stone. Use a blowtorch to apply intense, vigorous heat. Then place several coins into the molten material. Wait until everything is melted down. Pour it into the mold while it's still hot. After cooling, place it in water to lower the temperature. Quickly remove it from the mold. Break the plaster model apart. Remove all the adhered plaster from inside. Then use pliers to trim away the excess edges. Carefully sand and polish the entire body. Completely sand the surface until it is bright and like new. Next, drill a horizontal round hole from the top using an electric drill. Polish and sand the entire body with a wool grinding wheel. Thread the finished ring through. Then attach the chain. Adjust the orientation properly. Securely fastened. Thus, a uniquely shaped cat sonic wave pendant is now complete. If the full score is 100 points. How many points would you give to the man's creativity?
With some great craftsmanship right there. I bet most of you didn't know how that was made, but what do y'all think of the visual snow? Drop your thoughts down below if you believe what she was saying is true, and let's continue.
Awesome clip, right? This is the biggest wave ever surfed by a human being. But this really isn't the story of a wave. In 2020, Sebastian Steudtner rode a 115-foot wave in Lazare, Portugal, the largest wave ever recorded. And moments like this show us something important. Human potential is far greater than we actually think, because we don't actually chase achievements. What we chase is feelings. We believe that they will actually ultimately give us confidence, freedom, fulfillment, pride. The goal is just the doorway. The sensation is actually the destination. And here's the key. Practice, it doesn't make perfect. It makes permanent. So if you're working towards something right now, ask yourself, what sensation am I building towards? This is the human pursuit in one clip in 25 seconds. Now comment the sensation you're ultimately chasing and start practicing that today. Look, if you're following, then you're already behind the 8 ball. If not, click a follow for more awesome clips like this that speak into the field of human potential. Remember, the game is a reflection of the player. A breakthrough reshapes both. Live life inspired.
We are the only species that prints danger on the box and then buys it anyway. Smoking kills. We light another cigarette. Processed meat is carcinogenic. We fill another plate. We know plastics leach chemicals that disturb hormones, raise risks of cancer, twist metabolism and fertility. Yet we wrap food, store water, and breathe microplastics with every breath. We live in a world where what holds our food, what touches our skin, what carries our water, quietly pushes our biology toward inflammation and disease. We call it convenience. Our cells call it stress. Now put a different metal in the frame. Copper. Not a miracle. Not magic. A metal that has always sat between danger and defense. On bare copper, many bacteria cannot survive. Their walls rupture. Their machinery fails. They die on contact. While plastic and steel beneath the same hand stay cold and indifferent. Inside the body, copper is not a trend. It is infrastructure. Tiny amounts help build blood cells, help enzymes clean up damage, help nerves send signals. Too little, and systems falter. Too much, and the same metal scars liver and brain. We design a world where we drink from plastic, touch only lifeless surfaces, strip minerals from our diet, and then wonder why the body forgets how to heal. Copper does not fix that, but it exposes the pattern. We stand at a fork made of our own choices, ignore what harms us because it is easy, or slowly rebuild a life where what touches our food, our water, our hands, is chosen with the same seriousness we reserve for medicine. Every day, we vote with what we hold, what we wear, what we drink from. The question is not whether the world is toxic. The question is, with everything we already know, what do we still reach for? And what do we finally put down?
If you're not following Science X Lab, you're falling behind. But if you are, congratulations. You're evolving, learning, and growing every single day.
This woman is truly a genius. She swiftly extracts silk from fresh silkworm cocoons using bamboo skewers. She winds and collects the silk threads with the help of a spinning wheel. Afterwards, she immerses the collected silk into prepared colored pigment. Once evenly dyed, she brushes on a layer of white paper pulp and quickly dries it with a blow dryer. Then, she covers the dyed material over a raised wooden bucket mold and carefully shapes it by ironing with an electric iron. Subsequently, the excess parts were trimmed away. The basic shape of the hat then became clearly visible. To make the hat more sturdy, durable, and aesthetically pleasing, she used a staple gun to secure the edges. Then, she gently singed the surface fuzz with a flame. After brushing away the charred parts, she used various colored paints to outline vibrant patterns on the hat. The harmonious color combination was eye-catching. Afterwards, she used a cutting machine to trim away the excess brim along the outline. The edges were bound with red fabric. Hat brims and plastic strips were inserted inside for support. After the edges were sealed with a sewing machine, the overall shape of the hat appeared more harmonious and aesthetically pleasing. Finally, she decorated it by wrapping red ribbons and a necklace around it. Thus, an exquisite and vibrant rainbow hat was completed. Worn on the head, it instantly added a girlish charm. What do you think of this hat-making process?
Wow, CDC was telling the truth and actually tried to tell us.
A scientist who is intimately familiar with a zombie infection. He studied both the pre- and post-mortem zombie condition before PD. He has identified and named the virus, Cryptonecrophagia vulgaris, CNV. It's a retrovirus, and there's no cure. This scientist's notes indicate prions may also be involved in the infectious process. However, at this point it remains unclear what, if any, role they play. Remember the single life subject I mentioned earlier? Unfortunately, the subject and scientist are one and the same. We do not know how much time he has left before he's no longer of any use, except perhaps for dissection. So we need more live specimens. Keep that in mind during operations. Problem number 4. Mode of transmission, currently unknown. Transmission modes ruled out: bites, scratches, casual contact, vector infection, droplet.
And that's a wrap for today's journey into the strange and unsettling. Thank you for watching and stepping into the unknown with us. If these creepy mind-bending videos left you wanting more, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Got a favorite moment? Or maybe a clip you want to see in the next one? Drop a comment below. We love hearing from you. Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and always be ready for the unexpected. We'll see you soon, right here at Chill Spot, where the weird and wonderful never stops.